Hi, today we're going to learn how to solve fractions. Now we're going to use this textbook. It's called Ugo C Ugo textbook for common entrance. So we'll take a look at the first question, which says express 50 as a decimal of 200. Now 50 is going to be the numerator and 200 is going to be the denominator. And so we cancel out and reduce it to the lowest possible form. 0 will cancel 0, 5 will cancel out, and divide 20 by 4, giving us 1 all over 4. And so the first method of converting it to a decimal will say 1 divided by 4. And we will use the long division method. 4 divided by 1, we'll put a decimal point and put 0, which will give us 10 divided by 4 equals 2 remainder 2. So we'll write 2 up, and then we'll multiply 2 by 4, giving us 8. So we'll bring down 8 under the 10 and subtract it, giving us 2. We'll put another 0. So we'll divide 20 by 4, giving us 5. So you write 5 up. Then 5 times 4 will give us 20. So we'll write the 20 under this 20 and subtract, giving us 0. And now we have our decimal, which is 0.25. Or we can use the second method. We convert 1 over 4 to percentage. We do that by multiplying 1 over 4 by 100%. Four goes into 41 and goes into 125 times. So we have 25%. So the next thing we do is write 25 as the numerator and 100 as the denominator. We'll express 25% as a fraction. And then we'll locate the decimal point on the numerator and the denominator and count. Now the decimal point starts from the right hand side. From there, yes, so we count 1, 2, to our left, 1, 2. So we'll now have 2 decimal places. 2 decimal places after 25. So that will give us 0.25. The correct answer in our options is A. So which method is easier? Is it the first or the second method? Now here's another question which deals with fractions. In a class of 32 boys, 16 passed the examination and 4 were absent. The rest failed. What fraction of the whole class failed? First of all, we'll write the total number in the class is 32 boys. And then we'll write the total number that passed the examination is 16. Then we'll write the total number that were absent is 4. And finally, the total number that failed will be what? We will subtract from the total number of people in the class, which is 32, the sum of the number of people that passed plus the number of people that were absent, which is 16 plus 4. Those are the people that did not fail, giving us 32 minus 20. -20 gives us 12. Now to get the fraction that failed the examination, we are going to write a fraction where the denominator is 12 all over the total number. 12, remember 12 is the number that failed, 32 is the total. So when we divide 12 by 2 and 32 by 2, we have 6 and 16, and then another 2, we have 3 and 8. Then we'll end up with a fraction, which is 3 all over 8. Now our next question is, how much less than 1 is the sum of 1 over 2 and 1 over 3? Our first step is to sum up the fractions 1 over 2 plus 1 over 3, and then we find a common denominator by finding the LCM of the denominators 2 and 3. The LCM is 6, so we'll write 6 down as a common denominator. So let's solve it down. Let's bring it down. So we'll say 6 divided by 2, which is the denominator, times the numerator 1, will give us 3 times 1, which is 3. And for 1 over 3, we'll say 6 divided by 3, which is the denominator, times the numerator, which is 1, giving us 2 times 1 equal to 2. As you can see, that's how it goes. Yes, just like that. So we'll write them up on the numerator. We'll say 3 plus 2. 3 plus 2 will give us 5 all over 6, which is a common denominator. So how much less than 1 is the sum of that, which is 5 over 6. So we'll say 1 minus 5 over 6. We'll also have an LCM 6. So if we divide 6 by 1, we'll have 6 times 1, which is 6, divided by 1 times 1, minus 6 divided by 6, plus 5. So if we get the values of the top numerators, we'll have 6 minus 5 all over 6, giving us 1 all over 6. Final answer. So this is our final question, and it reads, which of the following fractions is the smallest? 1 over 3, 1 over 5, 1 over 6, 1 over 4, and 1 all over 2. Now the solution. We'll find the LCM of the denominators and use it as a common denominator for all the 5 fractions. Now the LCM of 3, 5, 6, 4, and 2, we will solve it as shown below. So you draw the table and write down the numbers. Then you select a common factor, which is 2. Those that will not divide the common factor, we will bring them down, like 3 and 5. Okay? And then we'll bring out 2 again. It didn't go into 1, so it will remain. It didn't go into 3, so it will remain. Dividing 2, 1. It didn't go into 5, so it will remain 5. So we take all the factors that we've gotten, the LCM is now 2 times 2 times 3 times 5. And this gives us 60. So now let's write down the fractions again. 1/3. And then we'll draw a common denominator using the LCM 60. So for 1/3 is 60 divided by 3 times 1. 1/5 is 60 divided by 5 times 1. 1/6 is 6 divided by 6 times 1. While 1/4 is 6 divided by 4 times 1. And 1/2 is 60 divided by 2 times 1. Getting the values, we have 60 divided by 3 is 20 times 1, 20. 60 divided by 5 is 12 times 1 will still give us 12. 60 divided by 6 will give us 10 times 1. 60 divided by 4 will give us 15 times 1. While finally 60 divided by 2 will give us 30. So this is our numbers. So when you look at these numbers, which number is the lowest? 10 is the lowest number, and 10 has to do with 1 all over 6. 10 is the smallest number. That means 1/6 fraction is the smallest fraction we have in the group. And that's our final answer. Thanks for watching. Comment your questions and see you in our next class. Bye.